I get this question a lot in strategy calls, meetings with clients, and it's, does when you eat, how often you eat, and who you eat with impact your weight loss? And I will say that it does, yes, but it still comes back down to that overall intake, which is how much you eat across the whole of the day. So if you're someone like me who, once they start eating, struggles to feel full up, so I almost have to eat less regularly but bigger meals, and what this allows me to do is leave the dinner table feeling full and satisfied, but across the day I'll still be able to regulate my food intake so that I've hit my amount of calories that I need to hit throughout the day. Whereas if you're someone who all of a sudden feels hungry, so you're on the go and you're just really hungry, you need to grab something, it may be that if you skip a meal, you're going to make less informed choices and lead to higher calorie, higher sugar, higher fat foods. You're going to be riddled with guilt, and then all of a sudden you think diet over. So in that case, it may be better to go back to the 6 small meals a day, little and often type eating pattern. But again, you could argue that, is this because of the food choices you're making? So for example, a higher fibre, higher protein meal might keep you fuller than a higher carbohydrate, higher sugary meal. So if it's really lacking in protein, lacking in fibre, yeah, an hour later or so, you might need another meal. So you have some sweets or some chocolate or something like that, and an hour later you might be hungry again, and all of a sudden your blood sugar levels go up, and they come down really quickly, and then you need to grab something. So it may be that you think you need to eat really often simply because of the choices you're making. So it can, what I'm saying is that the food choices can impact how often you need to eat or feel you need to eat, and as a result they're going to impact your overall intake. But it's interesting because one of the things I often get from new clients is, I feel like I'm eating a lot. I feel like I'm just eating so much food. But really it's often because the amounts of the types of foods have changed slightly. So they might be eating more fibre, they're more aware of what they're eating as well. So it's less mindless snacking in between meals, less impulse snacking. Another thing I want to touch on is who you eat with. So what I often see is, if you eat with someone who eats more than you, then you may feel like it's okay to eat a bit more, even though you're full and satisfied. So I see this with couples a lot. Luckily in my case, it's more that I end up eating double, as my wife will often give me half of her meal, which I don't have a problem with, because as I said, I generally eat larger, more infrequent meals, whereas my wife will eat smaller but more often. So, as I said, all these little things do contribute to your overall intake, so you shouldn't ignore them. For example, what you eat, the types of food are important, so fibre, protein help keep you full. Who you eat with is also a key thing, just to remember your own kind of body clock and not just going by the social clock, so to speak. So these can all impact it, and whether you maybe need to eat more frequent meals, whether you need to eat breakfast, is really down to your lifestyle, your hunger hormone, how you kind of respond to meals. Also, just trying to optimize the types of food as well is key. But I can't get away from the fact that how much you eat over the course of the day is going to impact your weight more than anything else. And if you're wondering what my view's like right now from this windy coast,